Welcome back to Titan. So last time was an awful lot of tidying up, but I'm hoping that this time I will be able to actually get some of the stuff downstairs into proper use. And I think one of the first things I'd like to do is to, besides building an elevator, which I would very much like to do, but besides that, I would like to get an alert system up and running to monitor some of the core base systems. So I am going to set about some of that. Right, hang on, let's get the right printer. Right. So the first thing is I want to look at elevator. Okay, so we have enough to make 3 of those. That is useful. Right, but before we do that, I'm going to make some IC chips. Right, I'm going to need more cable again, I think, aren't I? No, I've probably got enough, actually. Let's put that away. It's good to tidy up occasionally. I haven't got very much copper. I thought I had far more copper than that. Oh no, there's more up there. 270, okay. Right. I need 3 of these as a minimum to get this system started. Right, there we go. So I've got the server room set up ready to put these in, but yeah, obviously want to start actually monitoring some systems. So I'll put in the core. Why I didn't just do this way before, to be honest, but there we go. I want the core alert system set up. So we're going to do that. I might also actually get some systems connected to that this episode. We'll see how we get on. But I might not. Let's get that down anyway, and then also that will drive what we want in the control room as well. Right, that's going to take a little bit longer. Right, one thing I do need is I need another wall to close in where the elevator is going to go. In fact, I think I need 2. So I'm going to make 2 on the basis that if I only needed 1, I'm certain I will find a use for it. And I don't think there's enough plastic sheets and there's no more lurking in there, so I'm going to make a couple of plastic sheets. I think 2 will be enough. Nice. Okay, now the other thing I could be doing actually in the meantime is I could be making some liquid pipes. Because I need to run a water supply down there. I've run out of pocket space. Right, let's at least see if we can get the elevator made. I think I need at least 3 parts. I need steel. So I see a 50 steel somewhere. Thought I did, but I might have made that up. I have lots of very large steel anyway. And I need a 50 of gold. That can go in. Oh, that's gold over there. That was where I saw it. Okay. So I need at least 3 elevator, and that is set to 3, so let's get that going. Oh, that was a 200, right, okay, let's throw that over there. Right. 20 is not going to be anywhere near enough pipes. I have another 20. I got to run clean water down, and I got to run dirty water back up again. So let's get that in there. That was remarkably quick. I kind of expected that would take longer. Throw that in there. Actually, let's be honest, I'll just throw that in there as well, couldn't I? Now, one of these walls I was going to put onto there. Obviously, we will be removing everything that's on there, but in the short term, I want to make sure that that does actually stay sealed until I'm completely certain that I'm ready to mix those atmospheres. Right, that will be enough to get started, I think. Hopefully I've got some purple paint somewhere, probably downstairs. Shall I make some more? It'll be really annoying if I haven't got any. I guess I may as well. Whoops. And actually, for the same reason, I maybe should make some. No, that'll be fine. Okay, let's throw that in there. Right. Okay. Those are all good. I need to change the filter module on there. Okay, how is the atmosphere looking in here now? 67 kPa. I think that's even breathable. It's quite impressive. Right. Okay. What I should do actually next time in the atmosphere processor is to adjust the oxygen-nitrogen mix. I meant to build one more. It's really annoying. I meant to build one more iron sheet so that I could close up that door, which I need to do. Right, now before I close that, I better sort this, hadn't I? Because that is in the way. So that will need to come through here. I mean, ultimately it probably isn't even required, but I wonder if I have any actual pipe anywhere. Probably not. Right, I'm going to need that laptop this time. You can rest there. You can come through here. Right. You can get down there. And you can get down. Oh, alright, fine, if that's how you feel. One of you is going to go down and the other was going to stay up here. Don't fall as well, then I'll be cross. Right, there we go. Okay, so this will be the elevator. And obviously we'll take that one out. I need to take the orange out as well when I get to that point so that I can run the power cables. I feel like that's probably in a place that's going to just kill me as soon as I spawn now, but we'll deal with that later. Right, we have got some pipe down there. Can I get it without falling down? Go on. No, I'm going to have to fall down. Okay, so let's reconnect that. I know that this is not staying there long term, but it's quite useful to know that I can do that. I should probably just, in fact I need two iron sheets because I need to weld that as well. I don't think I've got any lurking in here, but it's worth a quick look. No, I don't. Okay, alright, no worries. I suppose I will have though once I rip that open, won't I? But I need to close that before I open that. Always the way. Unless I open, can I open that orange one? No, because there's a void down the back. I think I best check from downstairs. I think it might be okay, but I don't want to lose all my atmosphere. Right, okay, let's seal that. Let's get downstairs. Right, I did have a car key, that's good. There's not a lot of gas down here. Don't know how much I've got in the tanks. Alright, let's deal with that in a bit. Let's sort this first. Okay, so we've already got a bunch of housings in place. And I've got enough to add some more, which is what we like. Okay. Oh, there's no power in that. That's annoying. Oh, there's no power in that either. Is there any power in this? Please have some power. 16%. It's not great, but I think that will be enough to do the job. Okay, so let's... so we're going to call that IC alert. That's going to be the hypervisor. IC alert supervisor 1. And in that one I'm going to go IC alert, and that's going to be the diagnostic. To be honest, I don't actually need the laptop because I have a computer. Right. So let's import from the diagnostic. Actually, let's start with... That's interesting, isn't it? Some of these are not connected. Or is it just they don't? No, they're not connected. I guess. I don't know. Anyway, we'll worry about that later. The ones I need are. Right. So let's go and find if this loads. Come on, load. Load, load, load. Thank you very much. Right, now I just have to scroll through a billion bits of code until I find the one I'm looking for. I wish I could sort this or filter it or do, frankly, anything to this list. But there we go. Hopefully it will happen at some point. It's not even all my code, it's any code I've ever imported to have a look at how someone else has done something. We're in the right zone. Alert control hypervisor. That's the one we need. I wish to load that. There we go. Right. That doesn't need any changes, so that can just be exported straight onto there. Next up, we will grab the supervisor 1 and we will go and library and supervisor's probably vaguely near the hypervisor, maybe. Got 2 copies of everything because anything I put on the workshop, I've got the workshop copy and my local copy. Alert control supervisor. Overwrite, load that. Okay, and this one should not need anything further doing to it either. So we'll export that. And then the diagnostic chip. And I've seen the diagnostic code on my travels. It is in here somewhere. Load that. Go. Okay. This one will need some codes pushing. But until I get anything hooked up, I don't know what those codes are going to be. So for now, I am going to leave those just pushing whatever it was the last time it was used and export that. Okay, so in theory, and the reason I've configured it like this is because I probably want a second supervisor, which I shall put there. Right, so the good news is the supervisor is running just fine. Don't know what the hell it's connected to. I mean, it looks like it's doing something. Interesting. Okay. Well, so this one needs to be connected to a supervisor. I think these are just devices, aren't they? I don't think any of them need to be specifically connected to anything. No, so that's fine. Okay, we've only got one supervisor, so that should work. That should work. Right, and then we just need to hook this up. Also to, that should say diag 1, shouldn't it? That is a good point. Those need to get paired. And I can't remember if this needs to go anywhere else. Don't think it does. No, I think that should be fine. Yep, okay. Well, that is the core of the system set up. So what that is doing is each supervisor, there are up to 6 devices we can attach it to, and the diagnostic chip will work the same way. The diagnostic chip is going to help me to translate where the alarm went off. The supervisor's basically, its job is to figure out what's the most important of its incoming messages, which one is the most important one that it needs to surface and send up to the hypervisor. The hypervisor sits across one or more supervisors and basically does kind of the same thing, and you can put a supervisor over supervisors, but it also will then connect to the alert hardware, which we haven't installed yet, which will be klaxons to announce alerts and flashing lights. And then the diagnostic, when the code comes in from an alert, the diagnostic will then allow us to connect up to some LEDs, which I'm going to use. I've got the Modular Consoles mod installed, and I'm going to use some of those consoles to drive the let's have those through in that control room to drive some lights, so that if something goes off, you can quickly go and have a quick look at the console and see immediately, I can see, not only hear and see that there is an alert and what the alert is, but actually I can see where it's being caused, because it's not great if you have an alert and then you kind of, all you know is something's gone wrong, but you actually have no idea what. Certainly on a base of any size. A base that's big enough to need the alert system, I would argue you need to know where the alert's gone off. Right, so I need to make at least one iron sheet. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to make the shower. And I'm also going to make some ICs which can be connected up to various systems now and actually do some alerting. No, come here. Right, let's throw that through there so that I don't forget it, because otherwise I probably will. And now I need to also start thinking about what sensors I need around the base. It's all well and good having these alert systems in place, but actually I need to decide what I want to monitor. Now some of that stuff will already be in the right place and will be connected into the data network, but I will probably need some logic mirrors in various places to mirror particular devices across. So the obvious one I definitely know I'm going to want is something to monitor the battery power level. And I also really want some sort of monitoring in the greenhouse as well, to monitor that the atmosphere in there is safe. Those are two early ones to do, and then I should be able to just expand the system. It's quite modular, so I'm looking in the wrong place there, but I do want the flashing lights. Now I'm going to need quite a few of these because this is quite a spread out base. Where's the klaxon? Why can't I? Oh, is it a speaker? Is it called? I think it is a speaker. In which case, it was probably on there. I think the code calls it a klaxon. Yes, but the kit is a speaker. There we go. Let's make 3 of each to start off with. Obviously, these will need to be connected to the data network to be useful. Right, we will want modular consoles. I wonder how many of these we will need. Several. I'm going to start with 6 if I've got enough materials. I'm going to need some more steel in there, and some more electrum and some more silicon, but it can be done. I believe I've got a reasonable stock of electrum before I start using insane amounts up. Yep, okay, let's do it. Probably not that much. I got 50 in here. Nice. Oh, and I need some more steel, don't I? Which I do not have in a sensible size. Do now. Right, that should do the job. Should have just about enough. Although, gonna need more copper for anything on the modular console. I suspect these might only stack to 5 anyway, which will be annoying. We'll find out in a second. Oh no, okay. Right, now. I'm probably going to need more than this, but let's get half a dozen. Can run out of iron. We've got small iron anywhere? No, no, no. I need a big iron. Okay, and a big iron it is. There we go. Right. It's a bit slow to print. Okay, well, while that's finishing, one thing I can do, I know I've got a data network there, so I could have a sensible place for this. Would probably be about the middle of the ceiling here. No, not there. There. Cute. Right, I need to connect that, but that should be viewable when it's flashing from all of those areas. So that's a good start. Right, I do need label plates, but I have not got enough hands to carry them all. Let's throw some of these through here. Shouldn't have taken all my... left all my data cable downstairs, should I really? But never mind. Gonna run out of silicon again. Ah, that's the point. I'll need an extra plastic sheet as well to finish the console. Well, I say the console, I've got 6 of them, haven't I? So I'll need 4, 5, 6. I did need another iron sheet, but I can't remember where I needed it now. And whether I can free up the ones I've got. I think I'll print one anyway. It'd be annoying if not. Sure where that one went. I dropped it as I ran into the wall by accident, which wasn't really what I meant to do at all, but never mind. Right, okay, let's turn some machines off and be nice for a change. Right. Oh, it clipped through and went all the way over here. Okay, fair enough. Right, let's do the bit I don't really like doing in here, which is weld that. That is now at least openable. Get those through there. Where did I need the other one? I can't even remember. It was only a minute ago. Oh, it was for in here. I do remember. Ah, too many doors up here now. Right, it was for this bit here. Let's get that welded. There we go. Look at that. That's quite nice now. I've still got to do something about that ladder. I wonder whether it's just putting a normal angle grinder. Of course it's not what I had in my hand. And that's run out of power. Right, that in there. To be fair, I might as well switch that out as well, since I know it's almost empty. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe just a normal bit of ladder that runs up there and then just jump off if we get to the top. Bang your head on the pipe. Right, okay, that's good. Right. Yeah, let's go. God, get in there. There we go. Right. I don't actually know what configuration of consoles I want yet. Probably a smart plan to figure out what I'm actually monitoring first. So actually, one thing I will need, down here somewhere, I am going to need, again, a siren and light. Maybe in that... Oh, that's quite high up there though, isn't it? I could take advantage of the side there though, couldn't I? Certainly for the siren. Yeah. And actually the other one I'm going to want in that part up there, so let's throw that there. Split that. Throw that one. I think this one had better go here. Okay. So I need to get this cable to connect to these devices. And I'm also going to need it through. Right, okay, so I can bring it through from here. Probably need to figure out what I'm doing with the consoles first, don't I? So there's a bunch of different ones. That's quite nice. Corner one. Three-way plinth. Four-way plinth. With foot space. I mean, that's the simplest one, right? That just would go flush against the wall here. I guess. I mean, that works quite well in that I could do that and then I can extend it up the wall if I need to. That also gives me an idea now of where this cabling needs to go, so that can come along here. Right, now I think I only need to connect the first one. I guess I'll find out. I think because they are all touching each other, they count as a single console unit. Gonna need much more purple wire, so let's just do that. Right, so if I run this vertically up here, and bring that out of there and round here, that can go along there. Yes, that can go there, that can go in there. Then can I get that? Yes, look at that. Actually worked. Amazing. No, that goes. There we go. Okay, and that's good. That's working because it turns itself off because there are no alerts. So that's a good start. Right, let's tuck that away and that away. So probably the next thing to do is to actually figure out what alerting we want. It's facing the wrong way. Right. So it probably makes sense to have one that's an alert on the battery. I think I'd like one that's an alert that's the atmosphere in the greenhouse. I will want more atmospheric ones, but I'm just not sure where I'm going to put the sensors yet. Right. So let's go and the alert things were mostly about halfway down, weren't they? Somewhere around here. Right, alert control. Oh, I could have this solid generator. That was probably quite a good idea, although that's on another network, so I have to think about how I mirror that. somewhere down here we should have a battery one. Or power, I can't remember what I called it. Not that it would really matter. Battery, there we go. Okay, so let's export that one to the battery. And let's get the greenhouse atmosphere one. Let's do an edit on there. And let's connect that one to... I think it's that one. I think it's misnamed. Yes. Yep, that's the one I was after. Right, good. Okay. Let's confirm that. Let's export that. I might need to tweak the values for the greenhouse because I think they're by default for breathable. Okay. Right, so that needs a battery reader. Let's see whether or not we've got any device on here we can see that could be the battery. I can't remember. I think I made a logic mirror, but I don't think I've connected it. No, I have not yet. Okay, that's fine. Nothing much we can do with that then. I also need to either mirror or... mirror or connect the... Yeah, okay. Yeah, alright, so there's a few things I need to do. I need to mirror or connect the sensor upstairs, and I also need... Shut that. To do the same with the battery. So let's go and deal with that. That's where it's got to be done, kind of on site. I've also got to figure out there's nowhere up here where there's actually a data network. So I will need to run the data network up through this access riser, which luckily I was prepped for doing because I was mildly organised, although the way that that is going around there is kind of irritating with hindsight. No, that was not what I wanted. What am I doing? I want the cable. I want that cable, and actually I'm going to split another half off that. Right. So I sort of did half a good job of this, and half a bit of a shoddy one. And actually this is where I'm slightly regretting having welded that hatch, but that's okay, we have a jetpack. Right, so I need to... Oh. That was did not factor that in. Okay. Oh no, it's in the way of the hatch. I can't even do that. I will have to do it further down. Ah, and now I'm on the damn ladder. There's not a lot of space to move in here. I know what I'm trying to do. Don't know whether I can do it. Right, I need that. No, that was wrong. Right, do you know what? If I move that out of the way, that will save that happening. I need it there. That's what I needed. Right, okay. And then that goes there. Then that goes there, and then I guess it goes there. Okay, that sort of worked. And then this should be able to go up through the corner there. There we are, that's what I wanted to achieve. Now I can climb this. Go. And then I need to see what's behind the wall there, don't I? Oh no, no, I've bridged the wrong combination. Right, okay. No, that's also wrong. Right, you go away, you go there. Right, so I have to figure out a nice way. Guess if I do it like this. Right, and then I think that gives me freedom to run this. Yeah, okay, there we go. Up there. Oh, what have I done? I've got the wrong colour. How did I manage that? I stacked them wrong, didn't I? Last thing I need here is to end up with the confusion over what colour I should be using where. Right. Oops, almost. Okay, there we go. Right, alright, that now means I can get a data cable up there somewhere. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it once I've achieved that. I suppose if I run it out this way, that's probably the best solution. Ah, stop climbing the ladder. Where did I put that? I should have done that from the other side. Yeah, in fact, I have to do that from the other side because I really can't see what on earth I have done. There we go. 1, 2. 1 in there. There we go. There we go. Okay. 1, 2. That in there. Beautiful. I'm still going to figure out what to do with this. This is potentially a mess, but right. That is now at least on the roof. I've got any spare? Yes, that's definitely. Oh no, or is it spare? It's. No, that's fine. That's fine. Don't need both of those. One or the other. Okay, right. That will allow me to get through. Yeah, okay, that's the way to do this. Then, if I can get above the locker to actually run the cable, that's the next problem. Right, so clearly I need more cable. However, whoops, no, I don't really want to do either of those things. I just want to stick them on the ceiling. But actually, before I do that, I want to make some space to stick them on the ceiling. So I'm going to do that. There we go. Now, let's think about this. I want that to be visible from there, so I definitely want it. That should work. And then we'll put this on here. There we go. Right, and then I just need more cable, as always. Good. Right, okay, that's a decent-ish start. I still haven't figured out how I'm connecting that water pipe as well, have I? Probably across there and then across here. It's about the only way, which is going to be annoying until I lay in the floor. Okay, see if I can figure out where these need to end up. I don't even know what happened there. I think I clicked the ladder. Right, so I think this needs to end up vertically running down probably there. Except I can't. Why not? What's blocking it there? Round this way. There's some complicated stuff needs doing on this bit, isn't there? Right. Guess if I cross there. Okay, we'll come back and deal with that in a minute. Still need to put a piece of wall or a door in there. Probably a door is most useful. Right, okay. And then that one can turn there. Okay, alright, that makes a bit of sense. Okay, there we go. Right, and then hopefully that's accessible from the outside as well. Right, so I need a bunch of insulated liquid pipes. Let's be kind to the plants. I don't know what the state of this room is, but it's actually pretty good, but we'll still be kind to them and release this in here. There's quite a lot of gas in there. Go. Right, so I do have a gas sensor in here. It's driving that automation. However, it's on the wrong network. So either I build a second gas sensor or I build a logic mirror. I'm kind of inclined to just build a second gas sensor at this point. To figure out how I get that. Yeah, we've got some cabling challenges, haven't I? What's going on behind the wall there? Yeah, that's what I feared.
Hunger critical.
If I snip that, does that actually disconnect? Yes. Ah, it disconnects only that side though, so I could run cable down here. Somehow. Maybe, maybe not. I think I understand the challenge I had, which is where I wanted to run the cable would be across that there, but I can't go into there. Right, so we might have to modify the hydroponics a bit and just take one off the end or one off the corner here. No, that doesn't help either, does it? Maybe modify this tank. Okay, for now, let's put that back. Yeah, maybe that's the way to go, actually, is to remove that and chuck it over there. And then put this. Come on! Thank you. Is that the right way round? That looked backwards. No, that is the right way round. Put this on the wall here. and we'll connect it off that one, which in any case is where we've got most of the water. Yeah, okay, that's the right way to do this. Oh, that's actually filled up as well. Whether I can still get a cable across is a different question, but I then have some options. If nothing else, I could move this across to here. Or to be honest, I could stick it on the wall over here, couldn't I? That might even be a better idea. What I'm trying to do is obviously remove that cable and have it route across the room here, so that I've got space to bring a data network cable in without crossing them. And then I think I'll just build another sensor. Sensors are cheap. It's probably easier just to build another gas sensor in here rather than mucking about.
Hydration critical.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Need to drink in a minute and eat, but let's see. We'll call it time in about another 10 minutes, but let's see if we can get this done first. That would be good. Right. So, insulated liquid pipe. How many can I make? Oh, I can make absolutely loads. We'll have 20 of those for the liquid nitrogen. Right, and I need cables. Okay, let's go large. Not quite enough iron. Right, there's a spare door. How are we doing? Getting there. Right, and as soon as this finishes, actually, I'll make sensors on here. No, don't know why I thought I could. Maybe I used to be able to. Right. Do I need anything else on here? I don't really know how much piping I need for the liquid nitrogen. Did I have black paint somewhere? Did I see it? No, that's white paint. I swear I had black paint. Oh, never mind. We can just nick the colour off the other one. That's fine. No, I don't know. Right, and there's my cable. And I need a sensor. And I probably need to mirror the battery, which I probably ought to do. I'm just trying to remember what I've got set up on that battery. Okay, well let's that'll do for now. Yeah. Right. Let's put that away, grab that, cancel that pressurize. Ah, there it is, look at that. It's come straight to me. Thank you very much. Right, so this should allow me to do a few things. Number one, to connect that to there. And that looks a bit weird, but never mind. sort of half clipping through the door. Right, that's good. Grab you there. Let's grab... actually, I'm going to be smart and split that before I spray it. That's good, that's that. Right, okay, so that is looking alright there. And we need to run that down and through, so I'll drop those. Close that. Oops, wrong one. Let's put a door on here. Come on, get in the right place. Oh my god. Okay, we'll seal that later, but at least that's where the door's going to go. Right. Drink some water so he stops whinging about that. I'll go grab some French fries from the fridge downstairs in a minute. Okay, now. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to need to bring that down there and down here, and I think I'm going to put a sensor right. Actually no, I'm going to put the sensor further into the room, thinking about it. So let's not run this too far down the wall. Run it along like this. Seems a smart plan not to put it right by the door where it's going to pick up the wrong data. There we go. Okay, that's used an awful lot of that, but that's okay. Split that in half. Right, so if I now run that along there, we'll see that locker's going soon, but for now, we'll work around it. Okay, that's good, that's working. So now I just need to figure out how to reroute this lot. And then sort myself out before I die of hunger. Right, so let us start by removing no battery. To start by removing the dead battery. Okay. Turn that on, otherwise I'll forget, and then I'll have no water when I need it. Right, okay, so let's grab that there and that there. No, that was wrong. That was a great start, wasn't it? Right, that's actually going in that way. Wait, hang on, I can use this. Can I? Maybe. Yeah, I probably should keep that in place. Actually, I could run that all the way down. What I need to do is to remove... Get out of the way. Thank you. That's made it worse, not better, but, you know, appreciate the effort. Right, okay, there we are. Now, can I use that? I can, but only if I take one of those out. This is actually really annoying, looking at that cabling. Because all I need to do is get that across there. But the complexity of doing that is actually quite a bit. Just make sure that was just a corner. Go there. Right, where's that driving off to? Okay, right, I see the issue. Right, so that, let's turn that round, get that connected up to there. Need to connect the water pipes in a minute. Actually, let's do that now. Let's get something else off the floor. Wait, what? How has this happened? Surely we have the same number of pipes? Okay, well. Right, that's that one. Right, you go through there. You shut. You shut. Okay. Now then, question is, can I do anything useful along here? I can connect that there. Alright, I'm going to have to just accept that we're losing one hydroponics off this corner, I think. That's the only way to make it work. No, come on, what are you doing? Right, and then that one out of there. That can go there, so we haven't lost anything really, it's just it's a little bit untidy. Okay. And then I should be able to now safely snip along the top. I think everything should still be on. We'll find out in a minute. Right, okay, and then connect. Did the stupid thing there where it... Right. Split, drop. Give me the purple. Do that. It's always when you're trying to just finish something, it all goes a bit fiddly. Right, there we go. That's that. That now can go on here. And we're going to call that gas sensor greenhouse. Okay, there we go. Right, so in theory I can button that back up. Let's just double check there's no cabling issues here. I don't think there are. No, I think that's probably fine. Okay, right, so I think then we'll go downstairs next. Yep, let's do it.
Oxygen critical. Low pressure. Pressure critical. Oxygen critical. Hunger caution.
Right, okay. So in theory we can now connect up the very first piece of this alert system. going to have to look at the code and work out what that actually wants. It has been a while since I've looked at this code. Right, so, to be honest, that's just going to read any sensors on the network. Oh, fine, okay. I'm not sure it needs anything setting then. No, I don't think it needs anything setting. I think we can just turn it on. And then I think all I should need to do is to connect. Let's turn that off to do it. This one here to IC alert Atmo greenhouse. I mean, actually, it's just the atmosphere. It's just reading all the sensors. I might as well set this one to battery, I suppose, at the same time. There we go, that's now running sensibly, and that is running through. That is running through. We have no alerts showing. Okay, that's good. Now the next thing to do is to think about whether it is feasible. I just want to check, is that coming through there correctly? That's water, isn't it? Of course I need to run that will have to run all the way down. Oh yeah, that's fine, that just needs to come down there. May regret that later, but for now that's a good way of getting it all the way down. There we go. The rest of those can go in there. So obviously this is where the medical cryo tube's going to go. Right. So we can actually set up our very first. I've just realised I printed inputs instead of outputs, didn't I? Oh no, instead of labels rather. Oh well, never mind. We'll throw the inputs over there. I may well use them for something. Right, where should we put the atmosphere? I guess we may as well start in the middle here. And all I want is really just a nice circular. Don't want a great big alarm. I don't really want a diode either. There we are. I suppose that will work. That will work. I'll put that on there, and I will name that light diode Atmo. We still need to work out how this is going to work, but so the supervisor, the atmosphere is on supervisor 1, so I think that should be 0.1. And we're going to connect that up there to the light diode. I realised actually I ought to have turned that off because I've just been busy turning through there. It's probably turning all sorts of devices off. Light diode Atmo. Okay, so I think, yeah, look, it's turned this off. I think if I grab this code here and import it do a quick edit. Then I think it should be a simple case. Can we edit, please? Thank you. Of modifying this. Right, so push in this order. So I think that becomes 0.1, and then I think that becomes 0, 0, 0, 0. That should do it, I think. And then that should, when it picks up a 0.1 code, it should light the greenhouse warning light in here. So in fact that is working because it's set it to off, or on but black. So I think that should do the job. So I've just proved that this cable works just fine like that. Okay, good. So there's a bunch of stuff to do on this console, but that's the very first connection made. Right, I'm going to go and check one last thing, and then I am going to call it a day for this episode, which is, can I connect the battery? Actually, the first thing I want to check is what monitoring is on the batteries, if any. And the answer is none at all. Do we have a logic mirror here? We do have a logic mirror here, but that is not the logic mirror we are looking for. We are looking for another logic mirror which can go in here and can connect to here. So this is where some preparation has saved me some work. So if I point that at station battery, but I will need to choose, don't think I can, oh no, ratio, that will probably work. Let's turn it on and find out. Oh yeah, didn't connect the power at the top, idiot. Right, okay, there we go, that is working well. So that is telling me that's 99% charged. So if I call that rename logic, that should have been a mirror, shouldn't it? So I've done that wrong. That's what the problem was. Right, okay, concentrate on doing this right. Logic mirror. Logic mirror. Battery. Okay, there we go, and we'll point that at the station battery. Doesn't even matter which one at this point. Right. Okay, so that is pointing at one of those. So it's hot in here, isn't it? Hot, but quite highly pressurized. Okay, I'm going to have to deal with that. Surprised it stayed so hot, even though the pressure's come up such a long way. Yeah, look what that's done to the temperature in here. Right. Okay. Anyway, let's run back down here. But that heat is leaching out everywhere now. Did not expect to be dying of overheatedness on Titan. Right. So in theory, and I say in theory because I actually don't know if this is going to work. In theory, that go to there. Yeah, incorrect logic type at line 12. That was my worry. Okay. So that might need some debugging, which we might have to do a bit of research between episodes and understand. Let's just double check and see whether... Oh, God. Why do you hang so long? Line 12 is trying to load... Okay, so it's trying to load settings. So actually what happens if I load ratio? Maybe that's good enough. Oh wait, this looks like it's wanting to read the charge though, not the charge. Confirm. Export. Ah! Success. Yes, absolutely success. Okay. So then is that set to battery? That is already set to battery. Okay, so I think we're good. Which seems like a sensible place to end. We have one working button on there. I could put a second one on. Let's just do that quickly. Battery. Okay, so in theory, if all of this is correctly configured, turn that off first, then we should actually get some alerts if things like we run out of power or the atmosphere gets into a bad state in the greenhouse. Right, last one to do is to change that, import that, edit that, wait for it to hang. Let's get that done, and that can become 0.2. Confirm that, export that, job is done. There we go, look at that. Brilliant. Okay, so we now have a functional alert system with a console, but also audio and visual alerts. Yep, that is correctly connected. So we are starting to get the base monitoring working, which is good. I have also extended the data network this time, which is also good. So I think on that basis, this is a very good place to stop. So I hope you enjoyed that. Next time we will continue to expand the sensor system, and I think we might have to get to the bottom of what is going on with this very hot atmosphere and probably run some atmospherics into the electrical substation. However, that is a good place to stop this time, so I hope to see you on the next episode. Bye for now.